Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now, the long-awaited 1.2.0 update that paves the way for the House of Wolves expansion, which drops next Tuesday, May 19th, has finally dropped. It's finally hit Destiny, and if you are currently playing the game, it will not kick you out, so you will need to log out and log back in to trigger the download. After this one, the next update we'll see will be the one that drops next Tuesday on May 19th that gives us the glorious House of Wolves. Either way, with all that said and done, alongside the update, the patch notes also dropped, and it details all the changes that came in this update. So, as always, I'm here to give you the lowdown. Now, just before I get into the patch notes themselves, what you can see on screen, this is what will greet you as soon as you boot up Destiny after the update has downloaded. As you can see here, it says The Great Wolf Hunt. Avenge the Awoken, find the betrayers. Petra Venj, the Queen's emissary, has returned to the tower in search of guardians willing to hunt down the fallen betrayers. New wanted fallen bounties. New House of Wolves public event, earn reputation towards the House of Wolves weapons and gear. So, if we then switch over to the tower, you will see as soon as you drop in, the doors at the back are open. Now, there is no Iron Banner this week, so that can only mean one thing. If we run up here and you go all the way into the back, you'll see that Petra Venj is back in the tower. Now, we haven't seen her for a very long time, but you'll see now that message that popped up when you kind of first booted up Destiny did not actually allude to, say, House of Wolves coming next week. It actually pointed to the fact that Petra Venj is back right now, and she has some stuff for us to do. So if I then go and interact with her, you'll now see she has a few things available. First up, she has some bounties. She has Wanted Drevis Wolf Baroness, Wanted Calyx 12, and Wanted Peakis the Disavowed. There are also 3 more. Now, the thing that's interesting about these ones is the little tick box in green. See, this one here says available day 1, available day 2, available day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. Now, as of today, it is technically 6 days until the House of Wolves comes out. So I would therefore assume that Petra Venj is going to stay until the House of Wolves comes out. Given that this patch was supposed to come out earlier this week, but Bungie hit a snag, that would therefore explain why day 1, 2, and 3 are already ticked. That's probably because this was supposed to drop 3 days ago. So you can therefore see this like a countdown clock. We'll have a bounty a day, which will then lead us to the House of Wolves. Now, I'm actually going to grab these now and then go and sort of see where they are on Earth. I'll record it for you guys and I'll put that out as a separate video. But for the time being, this video focuses on the patch and the patch notes. So with that being said, aside from the bounties that Petra Venj has, you can see she does obviously have 2 of the Queen's emblems, so you can obviously grab these if you so wish. And down here there are some shaders if you hit Queen's Wrath rank 2. Now with that being said, let's now talk about the rest of the patch notes. Now, seeing as we are in the tower right now, I might as well start with the tower changes in the patch notes. Now, some of these changes are said to have gone live now, however, I'm not seeing them just yet, so it may well be that they tick over later on, but for the time being, here's what you need to know. First up, the speaker.
Your return inspires.
If you remember the House of Wolves video I put up a little while ago showing you the new vendors, you will know that one of the features coming to the speaker in the House of Wolves is his ability to swap around certain items. You can trade Ascendant materials, Ascendant shards, for different things like Motes of Light and Glimmer, and the same goes for Radiant materials as well. That is supposed to be active right now. So supposedly, sometime between now and before the House of Wolves launches, you will already be able to begin trading. So once that does go live, that's a really good chance for you to start stocking up on things like Motes of Light. In addition to that, Xur is also supposed to sell you Motes of Light in exchange for strange coins. Again, right now he doesn't have that option, so again I'm sure that's something that will be coming very, very shortly. In addition to that, faction reward packages will no longer produce shards, meaning you'll at least always get something valuable out of them. Commendations are no longer required to purchase gear, which means that commendations that you currently have can be redeemed for 250 reputation per piece. And if you're trying to gain that reputation for a faction, you can simply redeem it there and then, and provided you are wearing the respective faction class item, then that reputation will go towards that faction, like so. And as you can see, I now just gained 250 reputation for the new monarchy. On top of that, it's worth noting that Etheric Light will not be made available for Ascending gear until the release of House of Wolves. So any of you guys hoping to grab that early, I'm afraid you're going to need to wait. Now with the tower changes out of the way, let me just start working my way through the patch notes and tell you guys everything you need to know. So first up, for weapons, they fixed an issue in which the Vexmaker class was not respawning with primary ammunition. Then they fixed an issue with the Hive Disruptor perk, which now appears in the Black Hammer perk set again, as you can see here, and I can now select it, and finally, thank goodness, the Black Hammer now has a yellow square around it, which is really good for my OCD. Thank you very much, Bungie. On top of that, they also fixed an issue in which Phantom Gift and White Nail perks would become interrupted when non-precision damage occurred from other perks. And they also fixed an issue, as well as obviously adding it back, in which the Hive Disruptor perk did not work correctly with sustained damage events. Then on the PvP side of things, Salvage has had the first relic moved to more consistently appear in a centralized map position, and they fixed an issue that caused players to wait excessively long times for respawn. Moving over, the vendor interaction panel has now been updated to support quest chains, and the vendor interaction panel now has better animations and fewer popping issues. The number of buffs that can be displayed on the character screen has also been increased, and inventory item stacks that have reached their highest possible count will now display gold numbers along with an alert in the tooltip that maximum quantities have been acquired. Under the audio section, they've added improved feedback for players who take damage from energy weapons, and under the companion app they've fixed an issue in which the Mercury Grimoire card was not being awarded. They've retroactively awarded the Mercury Grimoire card to players who have found the Mercury Memory Fragment Dead Ghost, and vendor items, damage types, and perks will now be visible on Bungie.net and the mobile app. Then there were a few technical things, so if you want to read those in depth, then I will leave a link to the patch notes in the description box down below so you can read those ones. But they also added an addendum at the end of these notes, which is really interesting. They said, "We have discovered that legendary engrams will drop in 1.2.0 that the Cryptarch will not recognise. Hold on to these newly acquired purple engrams until May 19th to benefit from their upgraded decryption skill set. So as we know, if you have any existing engrams, they will not yield House of Wolves items. So there's no point holding on to existing ones that you've got, say, from the Dark Below or Vanilla Destiny, because come House of Wolves, they will not give you the new gear. However, if you find any of these new engrams and you try and take them to the Cryptarch and he won't decode them, that, my friends, is something you want to hold on to. Those are items that will yield House of Wolves gear on day 1. Then, in addition to the 1.2.0 patch notes, there's also a list of hotfixes that will take effect on May 19th, so I'm going to list those out as well because they are also relevant right now. Firstly, under the PvP section, come May 19th, they have added a new daily reward package upon completion of the first game in the daily feature Crucible playlist. They've also added passage coins to the reward streams across all playlists, including the daily reward package, and they are the things you need to gain access to the Trials of Osiris. They've also increased the Crucible Mark drop rate across all playlists by 100%. They've increased the Crucible Reputation earnings across all playlists by 100%, and they've increased the rare weapons and gear drop chance for completing games across all playlists by 100%. They have also added legendary weapon drops into the Crucible reward stream across all playlists, and finally they've added Dark Below maps into the Crucible playlist for all players, irrespective of whether you have the DLC or not. So finally, as of May 19th, in your regular control playlists and things like that, you'll start seeing some Dark Below maps. Then under the Iron Banner spectrum, they've adjusted the power curve for Iron Banner playlists to accommodate the competitive range of power in House of Wolves, i.e. players now hitting level 34. Also, across one Iron Banner event, players competing in the Iron Banner with more than one character on the same account will receive a reputation boost for the lower ranked characters to reach parity with the higher ranked characters more quickly. 6 additional Iron Banner bounties have been added to the bounty rotation. They have removed an errant buff from the Iron Banner control playlist, and Etheric Light will now be available at ranks 3 and 5 in the Iron Banner. As for the tower, the Cryptarch will no longer convert newly acquired legendary engrams to shards, so at least that means you'll always get something relatively good from it. Daily Heroics will produce Motes of Light in lieu of shards, and Ascending will be added, meaning you can then upgrade legendary and exotic gear to the highest power levels available in Year 1. Besides that, there are a few more things, a few more technical things, and a few more UI things, but that is pretty much it. That is a combination of changes that have taken place now, i.e. the first part of this video, and changes that will take place on May 19th, that's next Tuesday, which was the latter part of this video. If you guys do want to read any of that for yourself, then I will leave a link to the patch notes and the hotfix in the description box down below, and also stay tuned to the channel later on this evening because I'll also have a video for you guys once I've discovered what those new Queen bounties are for. Either way, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.